right, y'all, I gotta show y'all this. I can't wait. Woo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I just completed an install on the Vengeance project and I'm so excited to show you guys. Here we have the Bad Dad Competition Series Tour Pack. This is the Chop Tour Pack. Great tour pack from Bad Dad, all custom, made here in America. Now, if you guys have been following the channel, you already know I did the Bad Dad Competition Series speaker lids. Has that same lighting on the top that operates as run, brake, and turn signals. You can visibly see it from the sides and from the rear. Also, Bad Dad offers a variety of OEM colors, so you can have this painted before it gets to you. Now, if you get your tour pack painted through Bad Dad, they will have your backrest holes already pre-drilled. But if you get it sent to you so you can have your custom painter paint it, you will have to drill those holes for your backrest. So yeah, this is a very simple install. I'm gonna show you exactly what comes in the kit and then we'll get it installed. All right, so in the kit, I have the Chop Tour Pack. Now there are options if you don't want the lighting on the top. They do have the option for a regular lid. Now with the Competition Series Tour Pack and the lighted lid, you do get the Tour Pack lid tether, the plug and play wiring harness, your Tour Pack lid latch assembly with all your mounting hardware and hinges. Now with your latch hardware, you can go with black or chrome. And also you receive the Tour Pack lid weather strip. Now some of these are sold separately, so you can option to add them on, like the Tour Pack mounting rack and the backrest. Now with the backrest, you do get a Tour Pack backrest mounting kit. With the Tour Pack rack, you do receive the mounting hardware for that. All right, so for tools, I use a couple of size ratchets, an extension, a T20 Torx bit, a 5/32 hex bit, 7/16 socket, a T20 T-handle, a Phillips head screwdriver, some scissors, zip tie cutters, and blue Loctite. And they do provide you instructions in the kit. Now, if Bad Dad does send this to you OEM painted, your holes will already be pre-drilled. But if you are getting it custom painted, you are gonna have to drill your holes. Now, they do have a diagram where to mount your backrest. For me, I'm not going to use this. All I did was just take some painter's tape. I put the screws into my backrest. Then I just took some paint and marked the end of my screws and then just lined it up exactly where I wanted my backrest. And I just pressed down just to make 2 marks. Then I went ahead and confirmed the measurements, made sure everything was level, and then went ahead and drilled my hole. Now they did provide me with an OEM Harley-Davidson tether. This part right here will go on the bottom and then this will go on your lid. You just line it up with these 3 holes right here. Usually a Harley-Davidson logo is straight up and down. So just get these down nice and snug. Just be careful with your screwdriver that you don't scratch up your lid. For the Bad Dad backrest, it does have this mounting plate that goes on the back side. I'm not going to use this. Now I did have to get some longer screws in order to reach it. So using the same type screw, I'm using a 5/32 hex bit. So I'll just get these down snug. You don't want to over tighten. You have those weld nuts on the back and you don't want to crack those loose. So here you have your hinge. You have 4 mounting locations right here. The bigger side is going to go on the lid. Now for all these screws, I will be using blue Loctite. So here you have your locking bar that your locking latch latches down to. You want these ends facing down. Now the Tour Pack lid is upside down, but you want these 2 facing down so this locking bar will be on the top. I'll get these started. Now, first thing I'll do is mount the mounting rack. Now, obviously you have to have 4-point docking hardware to get this mounted. Now on the mounting rack, you do have about 1.5 inches of adjustability. That way you can move it forward or backwards, depending on your passenger. So now I'll get the Tour Pack mounted. They already have pre-drilled holes. They do provide you with 4 screws, a washer, and lock nuts. So you'll run the screw through the washer, and then you can secure it on the bottom with your lock nut. Now for me, I'm gonna cover up my rear fender. That way I don't scratch anything up. Now to secure the screw and the nut, I'm using a 5/32 hex bit and a 7/16 socket. Now with the Tour Pack and the saddlebag lids, you have plenty of clearance, so you should have no issues there. So using the exact same screws, you're gonna mount on your locking latch. Now you can mount your lock before or after you mount your latch. It does go right here. So same thing, I'll get them all started before I tighten them all the way down. Now this is easier if you have some help, but totally doable by yourself. You just want to have your tools and your screws ready That way you can get those started. So once you get everything secured, you just want to make sure that you can open and close your lid. So to install the other end of the tether, I do have an adjustable locking bar. That way I can support the lid. So to install the other side of the tether, you'll use these screws right here. Bad Dad did an amazing job with this plug and ride wiring. Everything connects directly to your stock connectors, and then if you have other lighting, you can split it off from there. Now it's on you how you want to wire it up. They do have instructions on how to get this all wired up. Just like the competition series saddlebags that I installed, they do have a resistor module right here. You want to keep this part nice and straight. You don't want to bend it. This is what helps operate the run, brake, and turn signals. They do provide you with some wire management clips with cable tie mounts and cable ties. So what I'll do first is get this unplugged so it doesn't get damaged. Now this connector is going to be underneath the tour pack. This Christmas tree retention post right here is going to go in right here. So in order to get this connector through on the bottom, you want to remove this retention clip right here. You just lift up on the front, work it back, and it'll come right off. And then once you get it through, you'll put this back on. You'll just slide it on from the back until you hear it click. This grommet is very simple to get in there. Make sure it's all the way on the bottom and all the way on the top. So now I'll get the clip back in. Then I'll just work that Christmas tree post through the hole. Now I'll just get these connectors connected. I'll plug everything in just to make sure that everything works. All right, so here you have your plug and play harness. This end is gonna plug into your lighting here, and then this will plug in to your tour pack. Now I do have my Bad Dad lids plugged into here along with some other lighting. So I do have some other connectors, but if you don't have all this, you'll just have this gray connector and then this black connector. This gray connector controls your fuel tank and this black connector controls your rear lighting. So I already have a splitter with an open end, so I'll just plug it into here. Now I have this open end right here, so if I have any other lighting or I add lighting in the future, I have another splitter right there. Then I'll just plug this end into the tour pack. Like I said, you can clean up these wires however you want. You just want to make sure you're careful with that resistor module. So if you do plan on putting anything heavy in your tour pack, you can mount it to the side. Now one thing you want to make sure is when you close your lid that this wire does not get pinched. Now Bad Dad does provide you with weather stripping for your lid. I'll start off at the locking bar and work my way around. Now that I added this weather strip, I want to make sure that the lid still closes properly. I'll go ahead and mount the lock. Same thing with these screws, I'm adding blue Loctite. And here I'm just using a T20 T-handle. So all on you how you want to route this cable. I'm going to go ahead and zip tie any excess wiring.